Hey everybody! So today, I'm going to teach you how to play the 2 to 4 player game Yokohama from designer Hisashi Hayashi, published by Okazu brand and Tasty Minstrel Games. In the beginning of the Meiji era, the opening of foreign trade and the decline of Edo led Yokohama to be the premier trading hub in all of Japan. Copper and raw silk turned into export goods, and the city started to modernize with foreign tech and culture. Behind all of these incredible developments were the capable merchants of Yokohama. In Yokohama, each player is a merchant vying to gain fame through successful business ventures. They do so by trading goods ordered, learning foreign tech, and developing the city by building shophouses and trading posts. And of course, most fame at the end wins the game. Here we have the game set up for 3 players. I did this so you can see all the tiles that are in the game. Here we have building site cards which are shuffled from a deck and placed randomly. The rest are returned to the box. These are 5-point tiles, and these are also placed randomly and the rest returned to the box. The tiles on the board are all put together and shuffled and then set up in this manner. There is a different way to set up for 2 players, 3 players, and 4 players. These other boards here on the bottom, usually the manual tells you to place them near the certain tile where they belong. So for example, this is the church board. You can place it near the church tile, but sometimes the tile itself is stuck in the middle. So technically these boards can be placed anywhere as long as all players can access it. Each player will then get their warehouse tile, 12 assistants, 6 shop houses, and 4 trading posts. The rest will go onto the table, in which we will call their hand. In their hand, there will be 8 assistants, 1 of every resource that's not an import good, an order card, face down, you can look at it but keep it secret from the other players, 2 shop houses, and if you are the starting player, you also get the starting marker card. If you are the starting player, you also get 3 money, the rest will get 4. And each player will also get their president pawn. Their scoring marker will go onto the scoreboard on the 0 spot, and their 100-point marker will go on the 100. There are some general rules to follow throughout the game. The goods and the money are not limited by the number of components. If you run out, please use a suitable substitute. Money can be made into change at any time. All information is public except for order cards in possession of the players. Place all components so that other players may easily see them. Players have a maximum of 3 order cards in their hand, and they may not discard any of them. There is no limit to the amount of technology cards a player may have. However, a player may only own 1 card of the same name. And of course, victory points are tracked on the scoring track. If your player marker ever exceeds the 100, please take your 100-point token, put it in your warehouse, and reset your player marker from 0 and continue on from there. The game progresses in turns clockwise from the start player. Each player takes a turn until the end of the game conditions are met. When the end of the game conditions are met, finish playing out the round and then all players get 1 final turn. Your turn consists of 3 phases. Phase A, the beginning, Phase B, your main action, and Phase C, the end. Phase C and Phase A are the same, so I will go into more detail once we get to Phase C. Just remember that whatever you can do in Phase C, that you can also do in Phase A. Phase B is your main action phase, and it has 6 steps. Step 1 is placing assistants, and you can do so in 2 different ways. The first way is to take 0 to 3 of your assistants from your hand and place them on 3 different tiles, like so. The other way is to take 2 assistants from your hand and place them together on a single tile, like so. However, there are some placement rules. If you are placing an assistant where there is an opposing president, you must pay that opposing president 1 yen to place there. So for example, if I placed here, I would have to pay the green player 1 yen. If there are 2 presidents there, I would have to pay each of them 1 yen. Step 2 is moving your president, and you can do so in 3 ways, following some placement rules. If the president is in your hand, you can place him on any tile that has any of your assistants on it. In this example, I can place him on any of these 4 tiles. However, if an opposing president is there, I cannot place my president there. So in this example, I can only place my president in 3 tiles. If your president's already on the board, another way to move him is to move him to an adjacent spot where your assistant already is. So for example, where I start here, I can go here or here. And I can continue doing so as long as there are assistants in the path. So from here, I can continue on to the port, I continue on to the church. However, I can stop at any time. I could have stopped here at the port. Okay? The only movement rule here is that if I have to cross a path where another president's pawn is, so for example, I'm trying to get from here to the church, and I stop here because there is a president's player's pawn, I have to pay that president 1 yen. And if there are 2 presidents there, of course, I have to pay them each 1 yen. Same as placing assistants, and then I have to continue moving. And of course, if there are no assistants on the church, I can't go here, then move on to the church, because you can only move to a spot where your assistants are. And again, if your president's already on the board, another way to move him would be to take him from the tile he's on and put him back into your hand, which I would have to do in this example because I have nowhere else to go. I can't go here because I'd have to pay him and I have no other destination, so I'd have to pull him back into my hand. However, if you pull him back into your hand, your main action phase is over and you will move on to phase C. Step 3 is performing the tile action. The tile action is performed wherever your president ended his movement in step 2. So for example, if I ended my movement here in the copper mine in step 2, I will perform the tile action here. The tile action is performed by counting the power level. On the tile, power level is counted by the number of things you own on that tile. For example, I have 1, 2, 3 power here because I own 3 items on this tile, and I will perform the level 3 power action. Step 4 is the 5 power action, and it is optional. If in step 3 I displayed 5 power, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not only will I get the 5 power action, which is 3 bricks, I will get to collect the 5 point token and redeem that immediately. In this case, I would get 2 silk. The 5 point token is kept in your player area. Usually I keep it on my warehouse just for safekeeping. Step 5 is the build shop house or trading post action, and it is also optional. If the power level you displayed in step 3 was 4 or higher, as indicated by the red numbers here on the tile, you may build a shop house or a trading post, but not both in the same action. If you build a shop house, you may build it on any of these 4 spots and you will gain the benefits underneath. So for example, I can build here and gain 1 fame. If you build a trading post, you can build on this single spot here, and each player can only build 1 trading post per tile. So for example, if I build here, no one else can build here. Shop houses and trading posts also count for power level, so if I came back here later, I would have 5 powers. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I would get the 5 power spot. Trading posts are also useful because if another player uses the tile where your trading post is, the bank will pay you 1 money. However, if you use your own trading posts, the bank will not pay you. And the last step is step 6. Step 6 is to collect your assistants. After performing the tile actions and possibly performing the optional step 4 and 5, you must collect all the assistants that you own that are on the tile and take them back into your hand. So now we move on to phase C. Remember, it is the same as phase A, so it can be done at the very beginning of your turn before phase B, which is your main action phase. Phase C consists of 3 actions which can be done in any order. The first thing you can do in phase C is fulfill an achievement. As you can see, we have 3 achievement cards here, and these are chosen at random from 3 different sets: set A, set B, and set C. Achievement cards consist of a requirement and 2 sets of fame points. The left side fame point is for the first player to achieve it, the second side is for everybody else. So for example, the first one here says, first person to get 6 silk. I am the first person to get 6 silk, so I will take one of my assistants from my hand and place it on the left fame point, and I will get 8 points for that. So from 7 to 15. Any other player who achieves the same will get 6 fame points. So let's say green gets that, and let's say blue gets that later, he will also get 6. Another thing you can do on phase C is fulfill orders. Orders are placed by foreign traders to trade goods in exchange for fame and possibly imported goods and or money. Once you have the required goods, in this case 3 silk and 1 tea leaf, you may fulfill an order by returning the goods to the stock and gaining the rewards on the bottom right. So in this case, I have 3 silk and 1 tea leaf. I might do that, put that side to the bank. And I will get 4 fame and 1 imported good. And I will place this aside in my area. Now this card is face up and is public knowledge to the other players. Now, the last thing you can do in phase C is use a foreign mercenary. Unlike fulfilling orders and fulfilling an achievement, which can be done multiple times during this phase, using foreign mercenaries can only be done once per turn. So if you did it in phase A, you can't do it in phase C, and vice versa. Foreign mercenaries are gained by acquiring 2 of the same flags on cards that you own. So for example, if you remember from our order last time, we have a German trader flag, and I acquired that. If I get another one, for example like this, I will gain the German trader. Once I do that, and I will get the German trader boat, and I will place that in my hand. Unlike the goods and money, foreign mercenaries are limited, so once they're gone, they're gone. Using a foreign mercenary is very simple. On your turn, if you want to use a foreign mercenary, just declare doing so, then turn the foreign mercenary over, showing the used side. This can be put into your warehouse for safekeeping, and then choose a tile that is on the board that has any of your assistants on it. So for example, let's say I choose the fishing grounds here. Then calculate the power on that section, in this example 2, and I get the corresponding rewards. I get 2 fish. Then of course, if you perform the 4 power step and the 5 power step where you build houses, you may do so. And of course, at the end, you collect your assistants. Now let me tell you what the tiles do. These are your trade good tiles. There's silk, copper, tea leaves, and fish. Copper and silk are rare. Note the X's on the 1 and 2 power level. This is the bank tile, a quick source of money. This is a special tile called the canal. No assistants or presidents can be on the canal. However, if you want to pass through, you must pay 1 yen to the bank. Remember that you must have an assistant on the location that you are moving onto, otherwise you may not use the canal. This is the church tile. You may come here to gain faith. You may then use that faith to place an assistant on the church board. Once you do, no other assistant can be on that same space on the board. Note that the maximum faith that you may gain from power levels is 5, but the church board goes to 11. To gain more faith, you may trade in a unique good for 1 extra faith. 1 copper will gain you 1 faith, but 2 copper will still only gain 1 faith. You may trade up to 1 of every trade good, an import good, and 2 yen to gain up to 6 faith to go further on the board. Also notice these icons here. These are called move icons, and you will also see them in other places in the game. Per icon, it allows you to move an assistant from an area, either a tile or your hand, and place it in another area. Note that the boards are not considered an area. Here is another special tile called Chinatown. It's the place you will want to go when you have excess goods to trade it for money, and vice versa. It's also the place where you can buy, but not trade, import goods, as denoted by this one-way icon here. The higher the power level here, the more trade actions you may perform. Now what do you do with those import goods? You can bring them here to the customs tile. Power levels here allow you to spend a number of import goods to be able to place assistants on the customs board. Like the church board, once you claim a spot on the board, no other assistant may be on that same spot. Also note this icon here, which is also found on the church tile. It means that assistants placed on either board may not be removed or replaced. After placing all those assistants, you probably need more, so you should come here to the employment agency. Here is where you use your power levels to gain higher actions, which is this icon here. You will see it in other places, and it always means the same thing as it does here on the tile. Per icon, you may take an assistant from your warehouse tile and place it in your hand. Or you may also purchase a shop house for 2 yen, which you take again from your warehouse into your hand. You may also purchase a trading post. However, the first trading post you buy costs 4 yen, the next 5, and so on and so forth. The port tile is where you want to go to be able to get more orders to fulfill. You may grab 1 order card for free, or if you spend 2 yen or 1 import good, you may grab 2 cards. Power levels here simply allow access to different levels of the port. Note that the difference between 4 and 5 power level is the 3 extra fame on the 5. Lastly, we go to the laboratory tile. Here is where you use your power levels to gain industry points to gain foreign technology. Like the church tile, you must spend extra to gain more industry points past what the power levels can give. Per 2 yen, or import good, you can gain 1 industry point. Unlike the church, you may keep paying the same to get more points. However, you may still only buy 1 technology, and you cannot own more than 1 technology with the same name. Also, starting from your 4th technology card, each technology card will cost an extra 2 yen or 1 import good, which is noted here. So for example, if I wanted to buy this will cost me 3 industry points plus 2 yen. Technology is great since it allows not only powers that gain fame, but some technology also allow you to break some rules in the game. The game ends in one of 5 ways. Remember, once the game end is triggered, finish playing out the round, then all players get 1 more turn. One way is for a player to build all 4 of their trading posts. Another way is for a player to build all 8 of their shop houses. Another way is for the church board here to have a number of assistants on it equal to the number of players plus 2, in this case 5. Another way is for the customs board, same as the church board, to have the number of assistants on it equal to the number of players plus 2, again in this case 5. And the last way to trigger the end of the game is if you are unable to replenish either of the port boards. After the final round is played, we move on to endgame scoring. Endgame scoring goes as follows. First, we score the church and we are looking for majority of assistants. Now, in this case, yellow has 2, green has 2, and blue has 1. Tiebreakers are broken by the assistant furthest to the right of the board, in this case yellow. Yellow will now gain 6 points. Then, green will gain 3 points. Next, we score the customs board. Same as the church board, we are looking for assistant majority. Ties are broken again by the assistant furthest to the right. In this case, green has 2, yellow has 2, and blue has 1. Green is the furthest to the right, so green will get 8 points. Yellow will get 4 points. Next, we score technology cards. If you remember, technology is gained from the laboratory, and we are scoring the industry value on all of your technology cards, which are on the top left. In this case, blue has 8, green has 8, and yellow has 9. Yellow will now gain 10 points. Second place will go to either green or blue. Tiebreakers are broken in clockwise order from the start player, which is yellow. So in this case, green is our winner for second place, and they will get 5 points. Next, we score sets of different country icons from both technology cards and order cards, and you will get points depending on how many of those flags that you have. There are 5 different types. In this case, yellow has all 5 different types. They will get 12 points. Green has 4 different types, and they will get 8 points. And blue has 3 types, and they will get 4 points. If you only have 2 types, you will get 2 points, and if you only have 1 type, you get no points. Then we score the remainders. For every foreign mercenary that you have that are unused, you get 1 victory point. For every import good that you have, you get 1 victory point. For every 2 yen, you will get 1 victory point. Then, for every 3 trade goods, you will get 1 victory point. And that's endgame scoring. And that's it for Yokohama. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please let us know in the comments below, and we'll try our best to answer them. Otherwise, please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you later. Bye!